fixed it up and made it a little bit nicer. But that's where Alexander Hamilton lived, or worked. We're going to show you where he lived. Now here's another thing. We knocked down everything. We didn't preserve much. The city was growing, it's still growing, and you're going to see how we still, there's some history in modern buildings. It's so exciting what we got coming up. Let's go. Come on, folks. History happened on this street. Queen Elizabeth and Frank Rizzo and Prince Philip hung out on the street, and they dedicated a bell to the city of Philadelphia. It was called the Bicentennial Bell. The bell that hangs in Independence Hall now is called the Centennial Bell because that's when we turned 100. The one that Queen Elizabeth gave us is the Bicentennial because we turned 200. If you go to Independence Hall, you can see the Centennial Bell because it's on display. The one that Queen Elizabeth gave us, I don't know where it is. It was on display here, and then they took it down. They're called Belgian blocks, but these cobblestone rocks, what they do is there's a river over there. They get the rocks from the river, and they just place them in the dirt, and then they have all these horses just come in and trot in to make these paved roads. And that's how we have cobblestone streets.
That's longer than any other asphalt today.
You can't ride your scooter on it. See this light? This is called the Franklin light. If you ever go to another city, they're not going to have a light that Ben Franklin actually designed. So Ben Franklin designed this as a gas lantern light. You light up gas, and you would come up, you light it, and then it would radiate light from here, and there's supposed to be a glass bottom, and it was the brightest street lamp that any city had in North America. They started putting these back in this area around the 60s. That's when they started gentrifying society. Let's keep going here.
I will check this out. I was there. They can't put it out. You want to know my
That is a reproduction of the restaurant that the founding fathers would go get drunk at. They wouldn't really just get drunk. They would come up with ideas and plans on not just the government, but had like the war and all types of stuff, slavery. I mean, how cool. Imagine like smoking a jazz cigarette and talking to your boys. That's what they would do. They would talk to their boys. That's the Polish American Museum. Half of the museum is about Copernicus, who never set foot in America. So, I don't know. That's funny. Pope John Paul, he has a statue in there, and yeah, that's about it. It's a very tiny room. I mean, we can all go over and look, but why? We got so many other things going on.
Am I slow, or did I not realize there were butterflies until like 5 minutes?
Lady Bird Johnson cut the ribbon to open up this garden. I couldn't tell you one other thing she did ever, but she cut the ribbon for that garden. Fantastic. Let's keep going, folks. Lady Bird Johnson. That's Lady Bird Johnson horn. Anytime somebody does a history tour, talks about Lady Bird Johnson, the siren rings. That's the only time that's going to ring on this tour. Why are you gossiping? He died of yellow fever. Oh, that's sad. He died of yellow fever. Then guess who else died? Her kid. Dolly Madison's son and husband died on the same week of the yellow fever. And they lived right here. And guess who knocked on the door and said, "Yo, you okay?" James Madison was one of the first people. Oh, where's Flemish Bond? Come on.
Flemish Bond!
I got a big wait, no, it's okay. I understand. Flemish Bond is very exciting. Flemish Bond! So, this is Dolly Madison's house right here. Alexander Hamilton lived a block that way, right? There, the lady. And beside Jawn lived like right here where this white fence is. He was the laziest son of a bitch. He walked to work, he banged here, So that's it. I guess that's why the tour guide company didn't hire me now. All right, so that's the Dolly Madison house. All right, this way. Let's go. Oscar, you having fun? Okay. Again, we're still on Insurance Road. If you look right there, that's the General Accident Insurance Company. No longer an insurance company. It is a apartment building. So let's get a guess from you guys. How much do you think a 2-bedroom apartment at the Fort Broderick is? Any guess? $5,000. And
I'll say
85.
23.
2,500. Who said that?
Yeah.
Did you Google? Yeah, I think you Googled. Don't be Googling. Oh no, about 2,500
A month for 2 bedrooms.
for 2 bedrooms. That ain't bad. I mean, your view is
Pay for what you
independent
get,
soul.
you know?
Yeah, nowhere near right.
Really?
Rose Garden?
Everyone act cool. Let's go.
All right, everybody.
This is pretty cool. I'm going to show you 2 streets that don't exist no more. Ladies and gentlemen, the Naked Bike Ride is coming to Philadelphia in the next 2 weeks. Do not ride these bikes. The people who ride on the Naked Bike Ride will put their bare naked ass on these seats and ride throughout the city. So if you see these bikes,
Wipe them.
kids touch them. No, as a matter of fact, don't let anybody. Guys, Naked Bike Ride, did you hear? But this is an original cobblestone street from back in the Colonial days. So this is an actual street. I don't know the name of it. It goes this way. That's the wall now. And you can see, look, here's the old curb. And there was probably houses here. And now it's a park. What they did is when things started falling apart in like the 1950s and 60s, the federal government pretty much took everything over and just knocked it down and made it a park. Well, look at that, huh? You're not impressed.
I'm impressed. It's cool.
In the United States, what you can do, you stand here on this corner and you look at this building. This building was built in the 1900s. This big glass building, that was built in the year 2000. That over there is Independence Hall. That was built in the 1700s. And that building over there is Country Green Park. That was built in the 1800s. There's 400 years of architecture. I think that every century that America was a country, every century America was a country, and you can see a building built. And I don't think there's many places in America you could do that.
Wonder what they're gonna do for like next year.
Well, next century they'll probably. Don't worry, they'll knock down something.
Yeah, right.
We're still good.
Let's go. It's pretty easy. You will actually see it's not a building from 1834. It's just the front of the building from 1834. Right there, see?
Yeah.
They just kept the front of the facade. This building was built in the 50s. It's the same company. They wanted to keep the front up, kind of like a little tip of the cap to the past. In 1976, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip went on a beautiful scenic tour up in this building to the top of the building where they used to have an observation tower. The observation tower would face this way, and if you ever saw the skyline of Philadelphia in 1976, there's nothing to look at. There's nothing. You can see City Hall and the Ben Franklin Bridge. Everything else was small because all the buildings were smaller than City Hall. So I don't know what the hell they did, but they went up there for 10, 15 minutes, looked at nothing, and they came down. If you look at this thing, I don't know what this material is, but good gravy. No, please come. It's the Please Touch Museum. Look at this. I mean, look at the detail. It's metal, like bronze. They don't make this shit no more. What do you think the security guard's thinking? What's going on? Is prison. Well, it was a debtors prison during the Colonial days. Back in the day, if you didn't pay a debt, you didn't have a creditor calling your phone every day that you ignored. What you would do is you would have to go to prison. So this was the debtors' prison. Now, in the 1776-ish era, we were in this little thing called the Revolutionary War. And we would use this prison to keep the British troops in, and the British troops sometimes would occupy that building over there, so they ran the prison. So American troops would be held in prison there. Now, a lot of the troops that were in this prison here weren't treated very kindly. And now they reside in this park because it's a mass burial ground. I think I said that too cheerfully. Yay, death! Yeah, look at that van.
He's a celebrity.
Oh, I wish they. Oh, you got that camera going?
The camera's been going, yeah.
Built the city hall in here. So everywhere you look with the grass, everybody see everybody sitting there having a picnic. There's probably a dead body, two feet underneath their picnic.